Welcome back and Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody had a happy holidays. Return safe. Well, I had a short vacation. Now I'm back. Wade, how was your holidays? How was foreign?
Boy, I'm good. Give thanks, Get to see my little nephew, first nephew.
Yeah.
Nice experience and out here,
Yeah.
Dodging Corona like Neo in the Matrix.
All right, my boss. I want to thank everybody for joining us. But before we get started, remember, like up the videos, all right? Let's get this one to at least 100 likes. All right, guys? All right, so we're going to start this one on a positive note. Right, Wade?
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, so we're going to start 2022 positive, people. All right, Trayvon Bromell. Trayvon Bromell is saying he got strong support from Yohan Blake and Usain Bolt during his hardest time recovering from his injury, and also during his disappointment at the Olympics. All right, we all know Bromell went into the Olympics as the fastest man in 2021 and the favorite to take home the gold medal, and that just did not happen. All right, Wade, you have that Athletic Weekly article in front of you?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, so this article by Tim Adams says the US sprinter on becoming the fastest man in 2021, friendship with Bolt and Blake, plus US using Tokyo disappointment for 2022 goals. That's the headline.
Yeah.
Trayvon Bromell ended 2021 as the fastest human on the planet. A time of 9.76 saw the 26-year-old American top the men's 100-meter tree, and it means that he's now joint sixth with Christian Coleman on the all-time list.
All right, sixth fastest man of all time.
All time.
Yeah.
Although yet in Tokyo, Marcel Lamont Jacobs shocked the world by claiming Olympic gold, but perhaps even more impressively, helped Italy to become 4x100 Olympic champions. The US team didn't even make the final, even though they had produced by far the greatest strength in depth in sub-10 sprinters this year, with 13 Jamaican. Meanwhile, so long dominant force in men's sprinting had just one, and that was Yohan Blake.
Yeah, so America had 13 sub-10 sprinters in 2021. And
they didn't have Jamaica to compete with. They should have shown.
Yeah, Yohan Blake went sub-10 as a Jamaican in 2021.
Yeah.
That's another topic that we have to discuss. But yeah, let's move on. Yeah.
Blake is 5 years Bromell senior, but both competed in Japan, and the pair incredibly failed to reach the final. While it wasn't a surprise that the Jamaican didn't reach a third consecutive 100-meter Olympic final, from Bromell it was an almighty shock, given he carried that what was then a world lead of 9.77 into Tokyo. The American had gone unbeaten in his first 10 races of the season, and this was after completing a comeback from a horrific Achilles tendon injury. Bromell tells he was emotionally broken after crashing out of the semifinals, and that Blake went to console him. I got a lot of love from Jamaica. I got a real strong connection with both Usain and Yohan, the 26-year-old says. I've talked to both of them during this process when I've been coming back. It's been humbling and an honor for them to even support me, and they've helped me through hard times. After the games, Yohan came and sat down with me in Tokyo and told me how proud he was of me, of my comeback. After having all those injuries and battles, coming back and competing at a high level was big for me. Tendon injury is no joke. Yeah. One day I'll look back and know that I had strength to fight through the toughest of times, so it was good to just be an advocate for people that want to keep pushing to obtain your dreams. Well said.
Well said.
Blake, who recently starred on the front cover of October magazine, told for Trayvon Bromell to come back from those 2 Achilles injuries, wow, and run the time that he has is immaculate for him. There's no doubt that we are past the era of male sprinting when you almost know which athletes would win the major championship medals between 2004 and 2017. Okay. The year Bolt retired, the men's 100-meter at Olympics or World Championships was won by only Bolt, Blake, Justin Gatlin, or Tyson Gay. Yeah. That was it. You have to go back to Kim Collins in Paris in 2003 to find one of those 4 at winning the biggest prizes in the sport.
Fox.
Bromell emerged towards the later end of that dynasty, and after the 20-year-old sprinter claimed 100-meter bronze at the 2015 World Championship in Beijing, you'd have been surprised if he didn't push on and challenge for major honors.
Yeah.
But two Achilles injuries shows that he was maybe pushing too hard.
Yeah.
2 Olympics and World Championships have become and gone, but Bromell hasn't added to his tally. The unfortunate fact is that after pulling up and being stretchered off the track during the Olympic 4x100 relays in Rio 5 years ago, the American has been blighted with injuries.
Oh.
However, by clocking 9.76 and 9.77 this past year, the eyes of the world are back on Bromell again when it comes to the clock. The next step is to translate that into medals. I've got to be honest, it will take getting a medal, World or Olympics, to get me the solidified respect that I deserve, he says. The only reason I say that, because I've run the times when everyone else in the top 10 list has got a medal. For example, Tyson Gay ran 9.69 in Shanghai 2009 and had a perfect 2-meter tailwind. Wow. If that was me, the world would have been like, he couldn't do that nowhere else. But as Tyson had multiple medals, they didn't look at it like that.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm really glad he brought up Tyson Gay, because I thought of him immediately.
Yeah.
With when he tried to put, exactly. Yeah. When you're trying to push yourself to reach the top tier, you know, of sub 10.
Yeah.
If your body can't manage, you just can't manage. You just have to know your role. And I think Tyson Gay proved that to us when he, you know, tore his hamstring, trying to keep up with Bolt. And ran the fastest time he ever.
Yeah.
When he tore that hamstring.
Yeah.
You know?
What I can say though is, I agree with you about athletes managing themselves well, but also the coaching staff and the doctors play a major role in that. The entire team.
Major role.
Yeah. So if you know the athlete and you know that he or she is injury prone, you probably need to adjust that workload. You know what I mean?
Right now, we're at a level with athletic management now that you actually have software that is predicting and currently assessing the player's athletic performance viability for the next, what you say, exertion, for example.
Yeah. I know.
You know, stress.
Football.
What's that?
I know they do it in football. They can software that can predict the likelihood of an injury per se.
Right, and how much they can train and you know, I think football has to have that technology because the amount of money that's involved in that sport. So they would not automatically have to have it if you're going to operate at such a high level. And I mean, if you're going to look at these athletes as assets, you're going to want to definitely monitor them and need the assistance of some computer aid. And I think track and field is at the level now where, you know, these athletic camps, if they're not monitoring the physical exertion and, you know, the time on almost each joint, you know, it's reached these athletic bodies are tuned like fine machines. We have to treat them like machines.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and machines with bearings, you're measuring vibration, maybe, you know, I'm sure they have their stress tests to measure joint pressure, all these things. That is where athletics is. And if
that is level.
Yeah, if the clubs aren't ready to do that, then this is what I want to see. That's why it is a disappointment to say Mr. Bromell not reached there. And I mean,
he's young,
when you say 10, yeah, but when you see the 10
that gold medal was his to lose and it slipped him, to be honest. Nobody saw Lamont Marcel Jacobs, you know what I mean?
But that to me even solidifies my my hypothesis of his body conditioning, right? And just the athletes being worn out, especially American sprinters. You ever look at the collegiate athletes schedule for the year? It's insane, you know. Americans run their sprinters to the ground.
Yeah, that is why we started to try to keep our athletes on the island with our coaches.
Right.
The other thing though, the important thing though, is the fraternity that is athletics that cannot be ignored. That part of the story where you see Usain Bolt and Yohan Blake reaching out to younger Trayvon Bromell. You know what I mean? With him saying, it does
got a real
strong connection with them. You know what I mean?
Because naturally they're all masters in this craft, and you tend to, once you reach you've attained mastery in anything, you're gonna build peer groups with people within that certain craft. And, this is just an example of these tradesmen recognizing greatness in each other, you know?
And not to cut you off, but to be honest, I have to give kudos to Usain and Yohan, because this is not the first example of this that we're seeing. We have covered stories before with both reaching out to other athletes and encouraging them, you know what I mean?
I think even if you want to go back, if you want to talk about our athletic etiquette as Jamaicans, what better display than the ladies this last Olympics? They actually injected a character in what's her name there?
Yeah, we know.
Our favorite athlete, favorite American sprinter.
Yeah.
Right? Injected her into the Diamond League race just for the drama.
Yeah.
Push the narrative on the ladies. Push the narrative of a feud between Shelley and Elaine, and the ladies just parried it with etiquette every time.
Yeah,
so
even if there's a feud, the way they handled it, you know what I mean? Because we're pretty sure that everything not on the up and up, but it's handled well. I
think that is something that is ingrained in the Jamaican track athletes. I think our athletic program is so developed to the point where even our etiquette, our competitive etiquette in the sport is at a fine level, and it's another thing Jamaica needs to be proud of.
Yes, because what I'm going to say, that is true, but what I'm going to say is, of course, there will be disputes and everything is not perfect behind the scenes, but what I like is if it's not perfect behind the scenes, it stays behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and it also stays on the track. We're going to deal with it on the track. We're not going to one back talking. We're going to it's going to be about action.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the right type of action.
Yeah. So I like how you put it. Track and field etiquette.
Yeah.
I like how you phrase that. Proper phrase.
Yeah, man. Competitive etiquette.
Yeah, man, definitely. We're going to end it.
We don't want to be like Nancy Kerrigan and that girl.
Breaking kneecaps.
Exactly,
Alright, bro. Alright, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Remember, like and subscribe. Remember, get it to 100 likes. And we'll see you next time. Wait. Thank you for joining me, bro.
Big up. We want to get it to 2022 likes. 2022.
All right. Let's see if that's possible.